When you look at the markets today, everything feels a bit shaky, right? So if you're searching for an investment that's built on solid ground, you've probably heard about Indian real estate. But the big question is, for 2025, is it still the smart move? Well, we're about to dig into that. And I think you'll find the answer is a pretty clear yes.
And that really is the main question on every investor's mind, isn't it? I mean, with stocks, crypto, all these flashy new options, you've got to wonder, is good old-fashioned property still the king? The thing is, when you see millions of people moving to cities every single year and new highways and metro lines popping up all over the place, well, that creates a massive ongoing demand for housing. And that demand is what's really driving this powerful upward trend in India. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at why Indian real estate is so hot right now. Then we'll talk about its stability and this really cool dual income advantage it has. We'll also touch on government support, and finally, how you can actually make a smart move yourself.
All right, let's jump right into our first point, why Indian real estate, and more importantly, why now? Look, this isn't just about some slow, steady growth. What we're seeing is this perfect storm, really, a mix of economic trends, population shifts, and government action all coming together to create an almost ideal environment for investors. And the engine behind all of this? It's like this powerful cycle that just keeps feeding itself. You've got rapid urbanization, which obviously creates a huge demand for housing. Then you have a growing middle class that actually has the money to buy or rent these homes. And to top it all off, you've got these massive infrastructure projects, new highways, new metro lines that are opening up brand new areas, making them super desirable, and that just fuels the whole cycle all over again. Okay, but you might be thinking high growth often means high risk. And you'd be right to think that. So let's talk about one of the most appealing things about real estate. It's stability. It's a real long-term financial anchor.
I like to think of it like this. The stock market can be a bit like a speedboat, right? It's fast, exciting, but it makes these sharp, dizzying turns that can make you sick. Real estate, it's more like a giant cargo ship. It's slower, it's steadier, and it's built to handle the storms. Plus, it's a real, tangible thing that you own, and that foundation of stability it's hard to find anywhere else.
So where exactly is all this growth happening? Well, you've got your usual suspects, the big metros like Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore, which are seeing consistent appreciation. But honestly, the really exciting story right now is in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. We're talking about places like Jaipur or Lucknow that are absolutely transforming thanks to new IT hubs and way better infrastructure. These places are unlocking these incredible new pockets of value for smart investors. Okay, so watching your property value go up over time is awesome. But this next part, this is where real estate has a superpower that things like gold or stocks just don't have. It's what we call the dual income advantage.
What does that mean? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an investment that pays you in two different ways at the same time. Let me show you what I mean.
So here are those two paths to profit. First, you've got the long-term growth. Your property is just sitting there, appreciating in value over time. That's how you build real wealth. But at the exact same time, you're also getting a steady cash flow from rent every single month. That rental income can cover your mortgage, your expenses, or just be extra income in your pocket. It's a total win-win. So we've talked about market demand and stability. But there's another huge player in this game that we can't ignore, the government. There are some really powerful government support systems in place that are actively helping push property values up. And a couple of big ones really stand out. You've got the Housing for All mission, which is this massive push to get more people into their own homes. That alone cranks up demand. And then for you, the investor, there are some pretty sweet tax benefits on home loans. This directly lowers your cost to get in the game, making it more attractive than it's ever been. And while all that's happening, the country's infrastructure is getting a complete makeover. Seriously, think about this for a second. When a new metro line goes in, it's not just about making the commute easier. For property owners along that route, it can literally double property values overnight. The same thing is happening with new smart cities and expressways. They're not just building roads, they're building value by creating incredible connectivity and modern places to live. Okay, so the opportunity is pretty clear, right? The why is there. But knowing why you should invest is only half the battle. The really crucial part is the how. How do you go from just thinking about it to actually finding the right property and making a smart move? And let's be honest, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Just because the market is hot doesn't mean every property is a winner.
It all boils down to finding that right property in the right location that has real growth potential. And yeah, that can feel pretty overwhelming when you're starting out.
This is exactly where having a trusted guide becomes so important. You need a way to cut through all the noise, avoid the pitfalls, and work with a platform that makes the whole process transparent and, frankly, a lot easier. It can make all the difference between a good investment and a bad one. This is where a trusted platform is really your best friend. For instance, you can explore thousands of verified property listings, agents, and consultants on realestateindia.com. It's a fantastic starting point because it brings everything together in one place. But more than just listings, it gives you access to verified professionals, agents, consultants who can actually guide you to the real opportunities and save you a ton of time and headaches. So, when you put it all together, you've got strong market drivers, you've got that rock-solid stability, you've got two streams of income, and you've got government support. The picture becomes incredibly clear. What you're looking at is a safe, profitable, and genuinely future-ready investment. So, if you're thinking about buying, selling, or investing in property, all signs point to now being the right time. Your journey starts with just taking that first step with a little exploration.